everyone, what's going on? Welcome to my 9th episode of AutoAudiography. This week we're going to be taking a look at a record that is kind of newer. I think the newest one I've done so far. Pretty sure. But that is Welcome the Night by the Ataris. Okay, Welcome the Night by the Ataris. This was put out in 2007 after being pushed off time and time again. The Ataris, mostly known as a pop punk band, came in the wave of that, that early 2000s pop punk thing that was going on. But as far as this album goes, not very pop punk at all. More along the lines of, people call it like alternative, but it's more just rock music. The Ataris, like I said, known for being pop punk. They little like high school tunes about, girls and friends and stuff like that. And this album takes a completely different turn, talking about other things like conspiracy theories and like the Illuminati and things more mature and kind of out there. When this album first came out, it was 2007. And I was riding that wave of pop punk stuff, so this album just kind of fell flat for me initially. It wasn't until 2 or 3 years later, after Lucas came into our life, and I started broadening my horizons a lot more musically, that I rediscovered the album and just the amazing songwriting that is done on this album. Now, like I said, it had been put off and off and off because of lineup changes. The record label that the Ataris were on was Columbia Records, and it went under. So they ended up without having a record contract. I believe that the only original member of the band was the singer, guitarist, songwriter. His name was Chris Rowe. He had gone, I'm pretty sure he'd gone broke and was living out of his van. He ended up getting together with some friends in California where he was living, and his friends were in different bands. Got them together, they just jammed out a little bit and started playing these songs. They ended up getting out of their contract with Columbia and made their own record label, which is Isola Records, and put the record out that way. Who did it get distributed by? Sanctuary Records. So finally the record comes out. I believe originally it was slated to come out in 2005. It didn't come out until 2007. Like I said, a huge departure from what they were doing originally, and now a more mature, full sound. These songs have just these epic, sweeping musical intros to most of the songs. They're songs with full orchestras. I believe Chris Rowe plays a theremin in a few of the songs. It's just way past the 4-piece, 2 guitars, bass, and drums kind of thing that they were doing before. So, like I said, I didn't get into it until 2009, possibly 2010. I want to say 2009, though. When Lucas was born. Lucas was born with terrible colic, which made him very grumpy, crying all the time. You just couldn't get him to settle down, especially at night. So my wife and I, what we did was we took shifts in the middle of the night, because one thing that always calmed him down and made him sleep was driving in the car. So I would stay up until like 3 o'clock in the morning driving him around, or sitting on the couch with him and bouncing him, just to get him to fall asleep. Well, those nights where I was driving around, I would have to listen to music to keep myself awake. And this was one of the albums that was very prevalent at that time, because, like I said, my musical taste changed from just the pop punk stuff to everything. Like, I was listening to everything and everything. Country, rap, rock, jazz, just anything to keep my mind going, instead of just being the same old stuff, listening to the same old stuff, and then kind of like falling asleep while at the wheel, you know what I mean? So this album just kept me focused. Like, it just had me. And it was probably like, I want to say the first 6 months that he was born, that Lucas was alive, that we were driving around and getting him to sleep. Later on, we found out that he needed a different kind of formula to eat, so that ended up helping a lot and cutting down on the driving time in the middle of the night. But this album stays on rotation with me now, just because it has such a grown-up feel to me. Because when I finally got into it, I hit that point in my life that, I had a really steady job. I was doing really good. I was married. We were happy. We just had a son. Like, I felt like I was becoming an adult. And this album felt like the Ataris had finally grown up and they were making legitimate music. Not saying that their earlier albums weren't. The one before this, So Long Astoria, had points where it felt like they were growing up. And actually, some of those happened to be the singles off that album. Like, I think one was the Sad Song, and then they had that cover of Don Henley's Boys of Summer. And what is the other one? What was that other song? Shit, I can't remember. But with that album, they still had like the kid stuff going on. So Long Astoria was the title comes from the movie The Goonies, Astoria being the place where the kids grew up. And in some of those songs, you see lyrics based off of the movie thrown in there. In this album, Welcome the Night, none. Just straight, here's some just rockin' music, some full-on just waves of incredible sounds coming at you, along with more grown-up themes, I guess. It's a really good album. If you guys haven't listened to it, give it a shot. The vinyl itself is actually a double album. Oh, it comes with a free album download code. And then, like I said, 2 records. Slip sheets. Actually, it's real funny. They're the exact same. Usually you don't see that too much. Usually there's some variation in the two. But even the thank yous at the bottom, the liner notes and everything, it's the exact same stuff. Which, in my opinion, is, I guess, kind of lazy. I don't know. I mean, really, their slip sheets aren't anything too spectacular. It's just some pictures of the band. It's nothing. They could have done another slip sheet with a different set of pictures, I guess. But the vinyl itself, just black on both of them. But really, really great music. I really, really enjoyed it a lot. Actually started listening to it over again just recently, the last, I don't know, a couple weeks, and it's one of those things that, one of those albums that when I start listening to it, I immediately want to keep listening to it. Like right after I'm done, right after the final track, just let it go and start all over again. So, yeah, I guess that's me and Welcome the Night. Big fan. If you guys are interested at all, give it a shot. It's fantastic. I actually am thinking about doing a cover of one of the songs off of it, so look out for that, I guess. That's going to be it. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.